into Vertigo. It's do or die time for VP and G2 as they look to bite the back and get themselves a spot in the playoffs. The loser will be out of DreamHack Masters, Hawker, and neither of those teams want that.
Starting on Vertigo, a map we haven't personally seen too much of throughout the tournament so far. Excited to see what both of these teams can show us on this map. I'm definitely keeping my eyes on Hunter on this one. He's had a couple of really good games on Vertigo, and I just think his rifling style can work pretty well on this map. So we'll see if Hunter can have a good performance, because he's been G2's highest rated player in the last 3 months. He's been killing it.
Yeah, the 1x bet odds at the top of your screen favoring VP coming into this one, just like you, Hawker. On the T side, G2 starting to put a couple of players in towards middle. It'll be Hunter, Jackson, Nico leading it that way. Nexa and Amanek holding down the lines for that B and ramp aggression. The mid play definitely looking to come through here for G2. And Buster is up here on top of construction. They haven't been able to pick up any info. They didn't spot Buster up there. So they're going to drop on back, leaving Nico in towards mid. They've got plenty of time to play with still here. And I'm excited to see what G2 have up their sleeve in this one.
I think VP have a boost going on. Indeed, they do. Kickert's up on top of it. So they're going to have a couple of players fighting towards ramp initially, and then maybe they'll try and spring the trap of this boost. Because when you see CTs fighting aggressively for ramp like this, you might not expect that boost to be in play.
Oh, Yakindart, good opening kill into the pistol. Hunter's gone, and now Nico. He was placed in the middle at the start of the round. What has he got in store for G2 in this round? 45 seconds left. Buster is still up there on top of construction. And it comes down to the patience game for Buster. He's still in that position that he started in at the start of this round. The kill's been pulled back, but Nico, he's not going to be looking up on top of construction. Kicker and Buster getting the kills, and they've busted this round open.
25 seconds. That flashbang from Amanek might be key, but Nexa's just gonna fight, and Kicker is the one who wins it. Amanek has the bomb, but he's got 4 CTs here to stop him. They're not going to allow him access to this construction site. No tourists allowed here today. Amanek's trying his best, but they're just gonna slow down by even more time. And despite that one shot, Kickert's able to trade.
Yeah, at least he gets that one parting gift on the way, but VP clean enough on the pistol. Kicker, fantastic round. 3 kills picked up for him. This was the opening kill from Yakindar to crack things open. I have to say, Buster absolutely did not change his position at all in that pistol. And Nico, he was pretty patient himself. He was waiting for the rest of his teammates to get into a better spot, ready for the A play. And Nico is going to try and come around middle and catch out those rotations. But VP, they're used to the slow play style, and the patience pays off.
And I really like that boost they threw in towards ramp. Yakindar was fighting early. They got a couple of kills from their players who were facing ramp, but then it was that boost that ends up working for them. Nico's having a lovely time, the porta potty.
Yeah, we'll switch off Nico. We'll leave him be in there, have some privacy.
Oh, porta pooey, apparently, it says on the front there.
Oh.
My bad.
Get it right, Hawker.
Well, good start for VP, but I don't think their CT sides were ever the question, Dinko. We heard before the game, it's their T sides that have been a bit of an issue for them throughout the tournament. Even in their win against Spirit, it was their CT side that carried them through.
Yeah, it certainly was. And in this round, it's a clean round for VP. No issues up against the Glocks. And it does mean that you would like to see a pretty good CT start come in here for VP. You would want to see them get a lot of round wins. Here goes Nico. Jumps up for the knife kill. Can he find anything more? The answer is no. Jim out with a kill on the MP9. And VP off to a pretty good start, 2-0 up. And like I was just saying, Hawk, you do want to see them get a few more rounds on the CT side, right? You want to see them build up a pretty strong lead when they're on the defensive side of things.
Oh, I was hoping Nico would use that extra money to buy an AWP, but he's just gone with the AK and the full nades into this one. That was nice.
This jump up as well, just with style. Like Assassin's Creed right there.
Little smile on the face of Nexa early. They'll get ready to run their first gun round ahead of round number 3. Smoke down ramp early. Hunter trying to spam. This is something you guys are going to have to get very used to here on Vertigo. Always get this spam fight back and forth early.
And then once you're actually on the site, we get another spam fight when the site smokes are down as well, Alex. I mean, it's a lot of spam.
Good nade onto Nexa too. That is an issue you have on the T side. There aren't that many positions you can play down here, so those nades can land through the smoke and do a good bit of early damage. Sometimes the CTs do want to keep those nades for the later round, though. Maybe to deny a bomb plant. It does look like G2 are taking some pages out of Virtus.pro's book right now. Another slow round at the ready here in the first gun round.
Yeah, just being methodical, waiting out that utility, trying to draw as much out of VP as possible. VP obviously showing that they wanted to use the smoke into the ramp early on, a couple of pieces utility to slow off what could have potentially been a faster play from G2. But they've still got utility left here, VP. And that smoke's going to allow G2 to walk up into short shelf. Yakindar playing from Sandbikes, currently a 3-man setup on the A site for VP. It's going to be difficult to flush this one out over on the G2 side of things.
There's still a couple of mollies for G2 too, for Virtus.pro too. Those could be key in denying that bomb plant.
Oh, Yakindar, they know he's in Sandbags, but they can't deal with him. The smoke up, Yakindar's trying to plant the edge of it, and that's sneaky from Yakindar. And he can just drop back in behind the Sandbags, and James gone unchecked. Limited time, G2 don't have the luxury of clearing their corners, and VP go 3-0 up.
I think G2 there just didn't put enough pressure across the map throughout the entirety of that round. VP at the end are just fully stacked on that A site. A slight oversight from G2, not checking that close right corner, ends up being incredibly costly late in the round. They try and run it into A. I think for G2, it might be worth going for a bit more map control earlier. I think if you get A ramp a little bit earlier in the round, maybe you force out some of that CT utility. Maybe you force out a bit more of a response from VP. But they didn't really force VP to shift their setup at any point in that round. And that meant it was much more of a standard round for VP, where they kind of had the setup they had planned for the whole round as the push came in.
Boosting over the top to try and peer into the construction area. Generally, you'll see players try and just get close, tight in that box. Obviously, when you're trying to boost up normally, if you boost too wide, it allows the construction player a millisecond longer to be able to see you going up onto the boost. So just a nice variation there from G2. They're going to get nades down to 36 and 63 HP on Nico and Jax. They're going to crack things open with a Deagle headshot. Sanji is not going to like that one. He'll feel that tomorrow. And Buster trying to hold on to the B offensive. It's looking good for G2. They're putting pressure onto the defense. Amanek and Nexa hitting shots. And now they're going for the bomb plant.
This is what G2 can do so well. That loose play style, that individual ability to just crack open rounds. It's paid off for them here. Nico mollied out of position, though. That's an opener for Yakindar. There's a bit more utility remaining for VP that could bake them into going for this retake.
Yeah, it's all about just using that to force a couple of fights, try and draw the advantages back in favor of VP. And they are burning down Nexa, but he stays alive. The Inferno not enough to engulf him. And the Itchy not enough for the kill, but Yakindar's AK certainly will be. And now it's all on Amanek. 1 versus 2, gets the first on the defuses. Jim just sticking it in the smoke, and Amanek, he has to start his spamming. The defuse comes through. Jim steals it through the smoke. And G2, they come close, but no round win.
Amanek thought he killed the defuser as the first man. At least that's what it looked like. He goes ahead and hides. As soon as he kills that first man on the bomb, he thinks he's safe. Unfortunately for him, that was not the case. This was that shot from Jax early, and that's what opens up the round. That's what puts the pressure on those B players. They're starting to get wrapped from both sides, and I'm not sure if Amanek thought he killed the defuser, or maybe just because he was shooting, he didn't hear James get on the bomb. Either way, G2 won't really be too happy with that. They'll be a bit annoyed, but they're just going to have to live with it.
Yeah, I mean, coming into it, you weren't really looking for the round win there, right? You're just coming in, you're hoping you can pick it up, but when it gets down to the realistic situation, it is a little bit of a gut punch when you don't win it, when you're down to that 1v1. But nonetheless, it's all about this one. It's G2 on the buy. They've got the AKs out. The M4 saved over from Amanek. So he can save a little bit of extra cash coming into this one. I'm interested to see what G2 do at the start of the round, whether or not they go for some more map control early.
Kicker's got that secondary orb out to the B stairs. Lots of those B players like to get that orb into their hands. Bit of nade damage done early onto these G2 players. In fact, Hunter's down to 30 health. Good utility damage there from VP.
Oh. Wow. Smoke. Good molly deep as well. That's beautiful. That smoke lineup is so deep. And that's going to keep G2 back. That gives a lot of control over the VP.
That's so cool. I love that they've got that smoke in deep alongside the mollies. That's a really nice way to take away ramp, and they don't even fully commit to it, right? Yekindar doesn't need to push all the way in because he knows he's forced G2 away from the position just with the nades. And now G2 don't feel like they can go back into A ramp as comfortably. They're not even going for that control right now. They're looking elsewhere.
Yeah, they're going straight back into middle, and Nico and Jax will be the two players leading this charge. Sanji will throw some utility, receive some in return, and now Virtus.pro, they make the required adjustments based on the information they've got, and now G2 will go back into the ramp. Jim is sitting up here ready at the top with the AWP scope down, and G2 start to come this way. 30 seconds left. Jim hits the shot. Starts to drop back, and Nico now making his play out middle. It's been spotted by Sanji. And now go G2 into the A site. The smokes will deploy, but there's two players waiting for them. There's two players here, but the smokes have kept them back. Only one player, though. Yekindar's got in front of them, and Jax clears it. Molly onto the default spot. Smoke there as well, and they want Amanek to move over to the left side.
He is going to find a spot to plant that bomb safely, but low health on all the G2 players here.
Look at Kicker right now on this flank. He's coming in behind. Already, they are aware of this possibility, but will they be checking this corner? Kicker, well played. Amanek taken out. And now two low HP G2 players stand between VP and their 5th round win. And Kicker is their nightmare. 3 kills picked up for him. VP get on the defuse, and it's 5 rounds in a row for Virtus.pro.
Showing us a couple of different looks here early on this CT side. This time, G2 did try and switch things up slightly. They tried to go for a bit more early control, but VP kind of just take it away from them entirely and then stay in control of this situation on the retake. Kicker having a really good game to kick things off here in this best of 3. The G2, they might have to start adapting to this now. If VP run that ramp take multiple times, I'm not sure it's something that G2 will have accounted for, but this time, G2 get ahead of the early nades. Oh, poor Hunter, man. He's taken a lot of nade damage lately.
He has not been having the best of times. Here on Vertigo, 0-5, and getting a lot of nade damage at the start of these rounds. Walking out in the middle, finally challenging that construction position. It's Kicker with 1, but Nexa has cracked open with the reply, and now the B site's under a lot of pressure, and it's Buster that'll have to step up to the mark. He only gets the 1 kill. Nexa and Nico, they're finding themselves the important kills, and the missed shot from Jame. It's not too far off, but it's Nico that secures the first round for G2, and it's a faster one, right? To put a bit more pressure on the VP players.
Inject a bit of pace into the proceedings with the fast split onto the B site. And oftentimes you are only going to have 1 man on B, 1 man towards mid. That means every kill is so crucial when you go for those B splits. The CTs really want to just try and trade at least somewhat decently so that the retake is possible. But when G2 win those trades early and have Nico at mid cutting off the rotate, it looks great for them. And Hunter finally getting involved with an early fight.
Yeah, that's much better. Hunter will be happy with that. Finds Yekindar, who has been a nuisance over towards the A ramp at the start of this game. So now he's out of the round. That's one of the danger men out of play for Virtus.pro.
Yeah, they're just getting that early ramp control now, and it makes a huge difference. It's forcing VP to go for some counter-aggression. He's trying to clear this corner. Kicker looking for it, but Amanek's there, ready for the fight. In goes Buster. He's trapped out in the open, but Hunter's low on health, so I'm not sure if he wants to force this fight. He's going to look for it, though, and Buster finds him.
Yeah, great stuff there from Buster, using the gap to get the kill onto Hunter. And now Buster has just turned around back into a 3v3 single-handedly. And what is the response from G2? Last round it was the B split. This time they've got to try and figure out a different avenue of approach. And Nexa walks right into Jame, and he will take those kills all day long. It's Nico and Jax, 2 playmaking players, left alone in this 2 versus 3, but Buster has been the bane of their existence, and he will continue to be so. Nico and Jax fall in tandem, and a reply from Virtus.pro is swift.
Another round where G2 try and make the most of mid. Some teams don't like to do that, but it was kind of a backup plan for G2 in this round. It looked like they were just defaulting, maybe starting to set up around that B site. And unfortunately, that aggression is not something they were able to handle. Great start to this game for VP. Their CT sides continue to look good here. A couple of MAC 10s for G2, though. They could have bought AKs, but they want the SMGs for the fast play. Yakinda shuts him down. Quad kill on the ramp, and he was all alone. He had to do it by himself, and my God, did he deliver.
Yakinda, that is incredible. And now it is just Nico left. Yakinda looking for the ace. He's looking for all 5. A filthy lineup, but it's Nico that has stopped the ace from coming in. Yakinda will not find all 5, but he's certainly done enough to put his team on the edge of victory. Buster coming around the back side, and now it is Nico who has to step up with a superstar clutch. 5 players in front of him, and Nico starts to walk his way up the ramp. The bomb lies in front of him. Molly to clear the sandbags, reconfirming to the Virtus.pro players that he is still making his way up the ramp. And right around the corner is James Orp. He's holding forward, and Nico trying to bait the shot out, but James is so quick. Headshot locked in, but what a beast. Yakinda just mows them down.
Never wanted to stop fighting. That's the Yakinda way. They call him Yakinda the Unyielding for a reason. He's never going to give up on these fights. Mows down the 2 MAC 10s. They try and turn around, but they're a little too late on the communication. And then James is always that man in the back lines, ready to just play it safe and pick up the pieces.
Well, that's the play of the game so far, Hawker. And a timeout having to come in. G2 need to reset because this has not really been working out so well for them. They've tried lots of different variations, right? They've tried to change the pace up. They had a slower start at the beginning, trying to be methodical. They go for the quick B split. This time, they buy the MAC 10s. They try and put pressure on Yakinda, but he doesn't crack. He just holds. And so, where did G2 go with this now? They've tried a lot on their T side, and VP seem to have the answers.
Yeah, I still think you fight for that ramp control. I think that round is one you assume isn't repeatable. And you don't need to go for the same quick aggression like you did in that round, right? You can just slow it down if you want to. You can just slowly go for that ramp control. James going to peek with the AWP, but he's been blinded. No chance for the opener. And Hunter is, again, having to play that hard role where you're that first man up, trying to gain ground for your team. This time he's done so safely, not even taking any damage, Dinker.
Yeah, he slipped his way through, and he can call it to the rest of his teammates that it is completely clear, and you can walk up comfortably. But dealing with the ace site defense, that is a whole different story. Yakinda this time without a kill. Jim now, he needs to step up, and he's got Sanji alongside him. Amanek and Hunter at 2 versus 4. And G2, they need round wins. Amanek's over on the B site, and Buster's just about to have a look. Amanek's still alive. He hasn't been spotted yet. And Hunter's going to start dropping off ramp. He can get back over to B. Play together. Could be interesting, but Amanek's going to leave his position and just group up with Hunter here. Still time to play with your Hawker.
No nades for G2, though. It's got to be contact. Up the ladder they go with 31 seconds remaining. VP have a couple of players at mid, though, ready to rotate between the sites fast. That should help them in this scenario.
Buster quickly coming down the B stairs, clearing all of those positions. Hunter has just left it opening now for Amanek and him to walk away, and Buster's left his position. They're going to go onto the B site. They're going to go for the plant, and there's just enough time here to be comfortable. And Amanek's going to hang around in CT spawn. They might just be able to walk away with a couple of kills here on G2 due to Amanek's position. Sanji comes around the corner. One in from Amanek, but not much more. So it's Hunter who climbs atop the construction, and Kicker is ready for him. They do get a bomb plant. They almost had the perfect chance there. Just not enough damage done in that post plant.
Yeah, you can see that it took VP a second to realize, wait, the bomb's been planted on B? It took them a second to start turning around. And I was a bit worried that with that player pushed all the way into spawn, they might not be able to assemble that trade kill quickly enough. But thankfully, James had that fast reaction shot. Probably not something they could have really prepped for. Just ended up working out that James was able to peek in to trade his teammate. Virtus.pro 8-1 up here. quick reminder, this is G2's choice here on Vertigo. This is the battleground they wanted to play on. Right now, VP has shut them down.
Flash out middle for Jax. He's going to start playing up into construction, getting into the smoke, trying to cause a little bit of pressure onto the Virtus.pro players. And Nexa and Jax, they found kills. Now they run into B, but it's Kickert holding off the ball. Ball goes down, but Nexa's quick. He's pushed up. He's found Kickert. Yukindar gets a kill back on Jax, and it is a 2v2. Nexa and Nico. Can they pull it out? Can they pull through? Yukindar starts to move closer. Incendiary grenade will put pressure on Nico to try and change his position up. The smoke comes in play and blocks off the vision of Jim. And Yukindar's stuck. These are two heavy hitters left on both sides, trying to win out this 2v2 stalemate, and they're playing around the smokes, trying to find any kind of advantage. They've been very solid, VP, at getting these retake attempts back in, and Yukindar's been given more space to play with due to that smoke. He gets closer and closer onto the site. Nico has not given away anything just yet, and now they peek. Nico goes down, so it's on Nexa. On the defuse, Jim taps, but he's right off it again. And Nexa spams through. He finds the double kill, and that's the round needed for G2.
Oh, and he even survives at the end, saving that up for his team. The smoke there was put in by VP for the retake. They seemed very aware that a player was likely to jump up on that double stack box. They were just waiting for that the whole time. Finally, it comes their way. Finally, Nico abides and decides to jump up to try and peer over the top of the smoke. But there was just such little time remaining at that point. Nexa able to get this final shot through the smoke towards the bomb. G2 get an all-important round win.
Early on, Yukindar spammed them up, and they've taken a lot of damage. Jim stops Nexa from getting close. Hunter definitely wants to upgrade that Galil into the AK that is down on Nexa's corpse, but you don't want to make the sound cue just yet. So playing with the Galil won't be too bad for the time being. As G2 slow down the play, they are a man down in this situation, so they will look to try and pull that kill back in any means possible. Ability starting to be used up, clearing all the close corners with the mollies, limiting the positions they have to focus on once they go into this A side. And Yukindar, he loves the aggression of smoking from his teammate to give him a wider angle to play with. Jax has hit the headshot onto Jim. Hunter's found Yukindar, and this defense is crumbling for Virtus.pro. It's Sanji that's hit the headshot. It's still a 3v3, and G2 haven't been able to get onto the site yet, and there's still utility available here for VP.
Amanek mollied out of position. In comes Kicker for the initial kill. Virtus.pro will start to assemble this retake. They're still a little scared of the flank, but they have a smoke for the short side. They can start to move in.
Nico has got the AWP this time. Jax playing over towards short. Can they work in tandem to pull off this 2v3? Nico is low on 30, so he needs to hit the shot immediately and tapping onto the ball. Nico's up with one. Now they know exactly where Jax is, but he's hit the quick headshot. He's going back again. Can he get the shot on Buster? The answer is no. VP will win 9 rounds, and G2, they just can't get success consecutively. They're coming close to getting these rounds close, but it's just getting them over the line that isn't happening for G2 in a row.
And this is something I was slightly concerned about for G2. With their recent games, I was kind of saying in the pre-game, they play a pretty scrappy style of CS right now. They're playing in a way where they're willing to take a lot of fights. They're willing to really just try and push as a team and try and just bulldoze their opponents. But I think that does somewhat play into the strengths of this VP squad. They're very happy to take fights all the time. We've seen it throughout this game. We've seen it with a couple of their players. And the rounds are coming close. It's been a brawl between these two, but G2 aren't able to convert the rounds on a consistent basis. You can see quite a few bomb plants, even in those round losses. The VP are managing to stay on top right now.
Just look at that scoreboard, right? 12-3 on Jam right now, 15-5 for Kicker. Yukindar has had that big performance that got him the 4K, but he's still 10-9. And Kicker has been the man of the hour here for VP on this CT side. We talk about how weak their T sides are. They might not even have to play that many rounds if they keep this up on the CT side.
Flash early. Kindar forced away. G2 have been using mid fairly frequently. Eco has liked lurking in this position, but this time he's got backup. 3 Ts ready at mid, and a couple of them ready to split the B site.
Amanek in with a headshot. Sanji He knows they're running over construction, but he can't really do much about it right now. MP9 in hand. He hears the footsteps running towards the B site. The VP know. This is not a very good round for them so far. And they're going to back away.
Yeah.
G2 have got the round on the board.
Yeah, their money's so weak. With how close these rounds have come, with all the damage that G2 have been doing, VP would even like to save that MP9 if possible. That's how bad their money is right now. Definitely want to save the AWP and the M4. Nice adaptations from G2 here. They've started to figure out that that mid to B split is an option that they can throw in every now and then. There have been a couple of rounds where VP have switched up their setup and they've had 2 players on B as well as 1 man at mid. But it looks like, for the most part, the general setup that VP are most comfortable with is 3 on A, 1 mid, and 1 B early in the round. And that means G2 can start to run those mid to B splits. And if you just lose a couple of early kills, you're kind of in trouble there for VP. It is quite a brittle setup, where if you find a couple of favorable fights, you can quickly win a round. That's exactly what G2 do. And now VP are looking a little worse for wear with their buy here. They're scraping together whatever the hell they can. Oh, this is a switch up.
I like this. Yeah,
3 CTs B. Sorry,
yeah,
2.
this is heavy for VP. They have a couple of players already down the stairs already. Buster's pushed down to the bottom of the stairway. And Amanek, he's the man tasked for G2 at holding this on.
Yeah, they do have 3 CTs here. One's down below. That's what was confusing me on the minimap. Takes a second to get your head around it.
There we
This
go.
gives them that early warning system that they were looking for, though.
G2 have shown a willingness just to slow this down on the T side. Clearing out the stairway, making sure that they try to limit some of the close positions, and Amanek will just confirm that it is empty. They have done a good job at clearing away the stairway, but they have a flash for some re-aggression down the stairway. So Amanek, he may have it for now, but how long can he hold on to it? Buster's above him, jumping on the stairway. Amanek's being tied up, and he's down. G2 have lost their B pillar, and now that might just call for the play into the A site, which might not be such a bad call right now. Limited players right now for VP on this side of the map. They're making the quick rotation. They're trying to get the players in quickly. But G2, they've thrown the utility on board. They've got the bomb planted. Utility will start to come through, and Nico's getting tied up. He gets through it alive, but not unscathed. He's 24 HP.
Still a couple of smokes left for VP, though. If you smoke off short on the ramp, that could cause G2 all sorts of issues in this post plant. There's the smokes. That's a real big problem.
Yeah, that definitely puts more pressure on G2 now to try and get back in, make sure this defuse isn't coming through. When you can't see what's happening, it will become the spam show. Luckily, no one on it right now for Virtus.pro, and there's no one on it. Finally, they got on to the bomb, but he's off it now immediately. And VP running down G2. They're getting the kills, but onto the defuse, there's just no time. It's not going to work out, and G2 will find themselves 4.
That just turns into absolute madness, where everyone seems to be spamming the smokes on both sides, desperately hoping they're the ones that hit the lottery. Eventually, VP start to get kills. They only had that 1 kit in play, though, so they had to get that on the bomb quickly. Sanji didn't want to stick it immediately because of all those bullets that were going in. I mean, look at that box, Dinko. It's just covered in bullets.
It's just ridiculous how the war begins. Once the smokes go down, it's just so much pressure put on to both sides, just trying to figure out where everybody is. And luckily for G2, they get the diffuser off, and not enough time for Virtus.pro. They took some time getting back in for that retake attempt, and they lost everything. So their buy is not looking pretty heading into round 14. They have got the AWP for Jim, an AK for Yukindar, M4 here for Buster, and a Deagle, Sanji. G2 taking a nice deep breath and slowing this one down again.
Take a second to calm it all down. Especially as VP got a couple of weaker weapons in there. Heading into the late stages of the first half, the economy has started to become a problem. That could help G2 salvage 6 rounds at the half. They've got to win this one first with the full-on B play.
Yukindar He's got the headshot. Buster trying to play in and around the smoke. Aminek's walked past, but he's caught by his teammate's flash. Nico luckily getting the trade kill, making up for his error, but Kicker steps up with a UMP, and that's a weak weapon, but a huge performance. And 10-4 as VP reach double figures. G2, that's a nightmare for them.
Yeah, that team flash seemed to be so costly. I saw Nico getting a couple of flash assists on his teammates there, and it just completely takes the sting out of the push. If that flash fully blinds your players, it's going to cost you that 1 or 2 seconds that you can't really trade your teammates that are rushing into the site. Kicker putting that UMP to use, close quarters, around the box, and G2 have a bad buy last round of the half.
Oh, Kicker, he's under pressure, and okay, Jax just cracks him right open. Kicker's skull decorates the floors of construction. A hazard, some may say, but Sanji looking to come in and pick up the rest. It hasn't quite worked out here for VP. And G2, they need to salvage a 5th round, but Buster could spoil the party for them, but he's looking the wrong way. And Aminek happily takes that on the MAC-10. It's just GM left alone. AWP versus 4. He's stuck in elevator, and G2, they are looking to close this for the 5th round. I think they desperately needed that. A 10-5 half for Virtus.pro heading into the second half. We'll see if G2 can come back. Virtus.pro lead the way against G2 on Vertigo. And it's looking good on the CT side. But the questions have been raised throughout DreamHack Masters is how good can Virtus.pro step up on their T side? They've got to do it here to try and close out G2's map pick in the second half.
It's been a CIS special here in Group A. We've got Gambit versus Na'Vi as the upper bracket final coming up later. Right now, VP are trying to prove CIS is strong against G2. And early on, it's some early ramp presence, a double nade stack, no damage done.
And the smokes should allow for comfortability for Virtus.pro. But they're going to send their players into the B side of things. And Nexa is still here, but for how long? As he drops back further into the site, Virtus.pro are going to start running those plays, but once they see no one's A, here comes the rotation from G2. Nexa looking to stay alive, looking to get a kill, and he's got it. He's picked up Buster. He goes forward for a second, and Kickert's out of there. He's going to go for more here, Nexa. Slows it down a bit. That bomb is in the open right now for Virtus.pro, and that's their biggest issue. They've got to reclaim that bomb. And the other issue is Nexa in with a 3K, trying to get forward, but he finally plucked out of the round as Hunter and Nico sealed the deal. 6 rounds for G2 Esports, and so far so good for VP on the pistol, and then it just all crumbled.
Yeah, G2 got that rotation back in time. Flash from Jax was definitely helpful, allowed Nexa to have a bit more survival time on the site, and then he just gets that kill while blind. Sanji fully flashed him, but he lands the headshot onto the player on the site. We do always talk about Nexa's ability to frag as an in-game leader on this team. I think he does have to step up on this squad because players like Jax and players like Amanek do take some of the bad roles for the team. So I think Nexa has to be one of those in-game leaders that frags well. And he's definitely proven there that he's very capable of some of those highlight plays.
Yeah, we've seen some of that up against Gambit earlier on in this tournament, right? So we know he's capable of doing it. And Jax is pushing down into the rampways. There is Virtus.pro players on the other side of this wall. Quite a few of them. G2. We spoke about the fact there's so many CIS teams in this group, and you know, Nico, we kind of heard he doesn't really like playing against CIS teams. Well, he's had a lot of them face off against him in this tournament so far. They've had Spirit, they've had Gambit, and now VP. The only team they haven't played from the CIS region is, of course, Mousesports.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a bit of a shame for CIS fans that you have all 4 of the CIS teams in Group A. Spirit obviously falling at the hands of VP. Chunky nade damage on mid. Chunky spray down from Nico and Hunter. That's the round we expected. Glock's not able to do too much.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed we didn't get to see Degster here. I mean, I was looking forward to seeing how he fared in DreamHack Masters, and individually speaking, very solid. So looking forward to watching his future and top-level Counter-Strike. But clean round there from G2, much needed. Coming into this round, they're going to be keeping the bonus. It's going to be the 3 for Mass, MP9, M4A1S. And for VP, they've got rifles out early.
Ollie up from James to try and deny the early B stairs aggression. Nades going both ways on ramp. Not much damage done to either team. Sanji making a move on mid. We're seeing a good bit of mid play from both of these squads. They go for that boost. It's being watched for, but they're just going to walk out. Nico full blind, tucks into safety. Hunter up above, Nico there to help. Sanji finally fighting, but Hunter keeps on going. VP shut down on mid.
Yeah, Nico, very strong position at the sandbags there. Even though they know he's gone down there, it's difficult to flush him out. And Buster and Jim, they pulled the round back, and now it's just Amanek left alone in a 1v2. He's been able to pick Buster out, but now it's the 1v1. Amanek versus Jim, and Jim is already on the A site planting the bomb. Bomb planted, and the world is his oyster right now. He can go anywhere he wants for this post plan. He's got so much time to play with Amanek being on the other side of the map. He's going to be going for the ramp retake approach. He's got a kit, he's just picked up a smoke and an incendiary. He's got utility for this. Will Jim look back in time? He spotted the feet here. Amanek giving away his position, but cannot find Jim, and this could be a smart reposition. There's no way he thinks sandbag, surely at this point. He's got the utility to flush him out, but there's so many other angles he could have gone to. This is so smart from Jim. There's no way Amanek checks this, and Jim solid secure himself. The 1v1. It's a spray to the backside, and a genius play from Jim.
Oh, Amanek just got a little too excited, didn't he? As soon as he saw those feet, Dinko, he went for them. He wanted them, and he couldn't get the kill on the flank. just a tiny bit of damage done, and then James knows exactly what to do. This was a 2v4 though. This should never have been turned around to begin with. But Virtus.pro just find fight after fight. And if you're an AWPer, if you're not good at spraying that AK, just catch him in the back. Easy pickings.
Yeah, I love that Hulk, you know, just popping up behind them, James taking his time, sweet time, coming around the corner, and then I see a little bit of Hawker-style AK control right there, but he does get the kill when he's not looking the right way, and you know, that's more that I can say about your performances. Round 19, though, it is G2 who pull out the AWP on Amanek. CT side AWP has been picking this up much more. Hawker, what have you made of him so far in DreamHack Masters?
He's been a bit up and down at times. I think in general, he's solid enough to put it into play. I think on Mirage especially, he was doing a really good job at switching up his position actually. And that's something that can be hard for new players picking up the AWP on that CT side. So excited to see where he takes the AWP in this early round. He's gone for the ramp fight, but the smoke goes up in his face. No chance for him.
Yeah, big disgrace there for Amanek. You'll back away. So much time, of course, to play with. For Virtus.pro. Look at the mid control as an option. What a performance so far from Kicker. 20 kills, 10 deaths. He's been fantastic so far. They turn their attention back in towards ramp. They've got a pretty interesting setup right now for G2 on the CT side. Hunter and Nico got a couple of these. And Amanek just up behind them. This could be nasty to deal with if you're Virtus.pro. Amanek will take the first shot and then drop back, and then you would have to deal with two players close. But with VP throwing that smoke consistently, it does allow Avenue into short. Shots landed for Amanek, but no kill yet, and Jax has got into the smoke close. Do they expect this position from Jax? I just don't think so. When that smoke starts to fade away, it will reveal multiple opponents. He's only able to get one, but that one kill throws a bit of a spanner in the works here for Virtus.pro. And Hunter, it's his turn to try and step up. He's got his teammate in behind him. Kicker's down, and Hunter on the FAMAS getting the double kill. Yakinda and Jim once again left trying to pull the round back for VP.
Amanek still close by, and the shot will connect onto Yakinda. Only Jame remaining. What does he want? The AK in his hands. He's going to have to back away here. Not enough health to run it into that A-bomb site. As you said, Dinko, a really different setup from G2, and one that VP clearly weren't able to handle. There's a chance that could have gone even better for G2, because I think the idea there was having Amanek flash as that smoke faded so that Jax could get those kills. The flash was just slightly too slow, maybe half a second too slow here. So you see Kikut's not blind yet. He gets blind a bit too late, but Jax was still able to get that one kill. And then it was all about Hunter wrapping around the side, almost lining up all three players. The double kill was definitely good enough, and a big smile on Hunter's face. It's good to see him happy, and it's good to see G2 coming back into this one. We've got a game on our hands.
Deep smoke from G2 into the ramp. Much more standard start for them with a two-man setup. Ooh, the timing there in towards middle is good for Nico. Jim does get a little bit of control, though. He's up on construction, and he could wrap into the B site next. So get your gun out. He's caught. He thought Nico would have had that for him, but Nex has just gone down, not expecting Jam to be so deep. And now there's a real play to be made into the B site for VP. Finally, Nico gets over here, but there's much more needed out of him. And he switches out to the AK. We know what he can do with it, but Yakinda on the AWP is taking him out. And it's just Jackson Hunter. 2 versus 4. It may still be 2 Glocks for VP, but they've still got that AWP in Yakinda's hands.
Ooh. No Kevlar, but the nade isn't close enough. Sanji's going to stick around up close. He's going to make sure they can't push into B stairs. That means that Hunter is just going to back away, but they'll hear these steps towards the A site.
Yeah, Jax knows they're coming up this way, but can he hold on is the question. The A1S is the first. It's clean. He's not been able to get the second, and that opens things up now. But Hunter, 1 versus 2. Sanji, who'd been left over to the B side of the map, has picked up an M4, and Hunter's not ready for this. Not ready for Sanji to still be a construction, but he's not got the kill. And now Hunter tries to go over the top, but Sanji plays it well. 12 rounds for VP, another one for G2 that they just can't afford to lose.
That's a heartbreaker. G2 don't have much money remaining. And look at what happens, Dinko, when Jame is the one who goes in first. Jame is the one who had to go in first with that one AK. He finds his way through. He finds his way into the back lines. He was the entry fragger for the team in that round, and he caused the panic. He caused the chaos in G2 that allowed VP to get some of those kills back. And then it was all about Yakindar landing that Deagle shot, getting them into the round. But Nico wants to do some damage with his own Deagle, almost making it a double kill. But thankfully, Kikut's there to put him to an early grave.
Oh, another one here for G2. Their Deagles might bite back. The Kickert is holding for this mid-aggression, but will he be able to deal with 3 players? Luckily, Amanek is the first in, so he gets the info. It's the warning system that there is a player, in fact, holding top of ladder, but Kickert has not moved. He has not missed so far in this map, and while he's pulling out the utility, next to trying to get close. This Deagle, it's another headshot for G2. These Deagles, they're dirt cheap. It might just be a dirty deed done. It's Buster and Jim trying to get back into the round here for Virtus.pro. They are a man down, a recovered M4 here for G2.
Nexa is playing super safe on the B site, though. His teammate's about to start watching mid, so now he can think about reclaiming control, think about getting to a better position. He still has a smoke, which could be quite useful, trying to deny this push.
Yeah, he's not picking up any info right now, right? So VP can just walk up into the site, and Nexa has no idea. He's none the wiser as he focuses in on construction. He will hear the plant now, though. He's just confirmed to his teammates that they need to come over and help him out on this B site. Virtus.pro still a man down, and Nexa still with the M4. Start to move together. A 3-man setup for G2. That's the M4 out of play. Buster taken down by the Deagle of Jackson. It's now just Jim. AWP. G2 look to bounce back, and they've done it. They needed that round. After so much heartbreak, a round goes their way.
A couple of key Deagle shots from Jax, really shining bright in that round. And then at the end, Hunter finds the gap in the smoke that they deployed. This is Nico on the Deagle too, getting involved early. Jax just catching that first man off guard. And this is what G2 are capable of. Look at all these 1-Deags. And then the M4 closes it out at the end, able to find that player on the edge of the smoke. A little frustration showing for Yakindar right now.
They're still in the lead. It's still 12-9 for VP, but this round, this one where they've decided to go for an economic decision, just getting kicked onto the AK, and the rest are on weak pistols, right? You got a P250 for Sanji. This is the only round they'll probably let him upgrade his gun.
And this is the CIS special, this buy, the Hero AK. They always love this. They won't love that, though. Amanek in the right place at the right time to deny. James gets the AK back, but no one else on VP has Kevlar to rock that rifle.
James searching for it. A nade lands on top of him. 55 seconds in play as VP just taking their time. G2 should have this one locked in, and they're going to go for a little bit of a gimmick. This could work for them. Going to try and boost over and look into the site. Nico, he's currently there. I don't know if he'll spot the head of Jim on top, and oh, he will. Nico reacts fast enough, and Jax following up, and he's hungry for a little bit more here. Doesn't want to send that M4 around the corner. He'll wait, he'll show some restraint, and he'll find himself Buster and Yakindar as a reward. 10 rounds for G2 Esports, and coming right back into their map pick.
Big props to Nico for getting that player off the boost there. I did not think he'd be ready for that one. He's able to land the headshot that was required. Quick flick to the face. So if he goes down, there is a chance that VP can just run it onto the A site. Instead, it becomes an easy round for G2. And now 2 rounds in it. Starting to tighten up between these two.
Oh, well, VP are running it A pretty quickly here, and Jax is going to spot the gap. Good kill on a Yakindar. VP obviously love to throw that smoke, so Jax gets the right read just to check out to the right side and finds the opening, just falls back immediately.
It's quite common for teams to throw that molly behind the sandbags, so clearly Jax was ready for that possibility. Knew that he could peek ahead of it and get back alive. even if that molly was in play. Every single VP player currently positioned in towards ramp, really focusing on trying to get this control early, which should be possible for them. Though they have to be aware of Jax playing sandbags. I like that he's playing here too, considering he's low on health. He's just trying to take an unexpected position, and he's got a smoke to extinguish the flames.
Yeah, well, the smoke will give away his position, obviously, but they don't have any itchies to deal with him, so he can just stay there and be a bit of a nuisance. And him just staying alive puts pressure on VP. They know they can't run past the sandbags without clearing it out, so it puts a little bit of a timer onto the play, and the follow-up smoke shows that there's a chance that he could have run back into the site, but he's going to stay there. And that'll have to be in the back of the head of VP. They're going to have to try and go in through short. No one from G2 is watching from there, and Jax with the smart reposition just couldn't get a kill. He played the position well, just couldn't find the duel out on Kicker, who has looked poised so far. And now VP running up to the site, but through the smoke, Nico finds the bomb, and Buster's down and out. Amanek getting involved as well, and it's Kicker and Jam in the 2v4, just going for the plant. They're gonna run over the top. Nico trying to deny, and he'll do it. No time left for VP, and Jam will fall as well. 12-11 as G2 are just one round away from tying up this scoreline after what was a very convincing first half from Virtus.pro.
Starting to see Nico find his form too in these last couple of rounds. VP was so patient initially, just waiting for that molly to sandbags. Waited out 2 smokes to try and get him out of that position. Eventually, Jax was dealt with, but G2 were really ready on that A site for the play. They lock it down. We're seeing for G2 a couple of players starting to step up now, but it's always nice to see Nico leading the charge for them. It's not always been the case for them in some of their games so far at this tournament. Hunter is the only player on G2 at this event who has above a 1 rating right now. So definitely about time that we saw one of these games from Nico. Let's hope he can keep it up.
And you got to feel for Jax in that situation as well, right? He plays it to perfection. There's not more you can do, really. Just couldn't win it out against Kicker. And speaking of Kicker, he's had a fantastic performance so far, Alex. He's really leading the way. When you have a team with your Kindar and Jim on it, sometimes it's quite difficult to get near the top, but Kicker can have these performances every now and then, but he's currently head and shoulders above the rest of his team. He's 25-14. And you do want to see your Kindar kind of strike into action. You want to see that flame unleashed in some of these opening kills, because right now G2 are kind of dominating on that front, right? They're running down the ramp, they're winning a lot of those fights, and Jax has been a pivotal part to that.
Absolutely. Just making the plays to win his team the round, even if they don't always lead to him necessarily finding success. This is, I think, what we were expecting from Vertigo, though. I think we were expecting a competitive bout between these two teams. It's certainly a map that VP are willing to play. And even though VP have lost their last 4 Vertigo games, it's been against stiff competition. It's been against Astralis, Liquid, Complexity, some really good teams in that. G2 definitely coming back into this, though.
Shout out to the observers as well, taking us a little journey through the scaffolding. The in-game team so far has been just incredible.
Oh,
You catch so many actions, and now we're on a roller coaster around the skyscrapers. If you have Vertigo, don't look at the screen. This might just induce it.
this is what it's like to have a drone, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure drones don't quite do backflips, but maybe there's
some do. Some do, yeah.
All right.
There's some drones that do it.
Well, clearly I need to expand my drone knowledge. I need to start learning
you really
a bit more.
do. Maybe hit up Jens Barloff. He might tell you something, a thing or two. He's a drone
going
man.
through the ceiling. Lovely. Everyone's done this before. If you're just like flying around in a server, you just try and fly around. Make sure you don't fly into the walls.
Yes, I mean, it's definitely something we've all done, but right now we're just waiting on some tech issues to be resolved. I believe G2 have some ping issues, so hopefully they can get that sorted very quickly. I did notice Jax is playing inside of a garage or something. He's kind of like in a workshop kind of thing, so that's pretty cool. Wonder what he's working on.
Can I direct where we're going with this? Can we go fly through a player's legs, please? Oh, here we go. No pressure.
Let's see.
Oh, God. The anticipation. The build-up. It's killing me. Oh, there's only 8 seconds. It's going to be a photo finish to get through the legs here, Dinko.
Is he going to be able to pull it off right through? And the pressure's building, and he's done it as we get right back into the action. Round 24, out of the tech pause, and right back into play. It's VP who currently lead by just 1 round, and G2 sitting behind, but how long can they hold on for here, VP? This is a full eco pretty much. They have a Tech 9 and a P250 in play. It's immediate chunking it down into the ramp, but Kicker has traded out. The Tech 9s come through onto Jackson. That's a better weapon in play now. They've got an AK. We're still looking at G2 to obviously tie this up, no problem, but maybe some damage can be sprinkled out into a few opponents.
Pretty much as good as VP could have hoped for at the start of the round, especially after all that nade damage they took. Get a chance to do something with the AK, and we saw Jame with that hero AK make a heroic play previously for VP where he got them onto the site. He was able to sneak into enemy lines. Let's see if that's repeatable for the IGL of the VP squad.
They're going to climb the ladder. Now just looking for some sort of opening from G2. Again, if anybody is just tuning in and wondering what is on the line, a spot in the playoffs is what these teams will get if they win this matchup. Elimination if you lose. There's nothing here for the losers. It's all about the winners. And Nexus go to the attempted boost. He's going to, get overrun. A nice little bit out there. And Jim hitting the headshot. Now trying to hold on is Nico. He stopped the crossover to construction. But he goes a little bit too wide. And now Hunter's going to have to try and step up. And he's done it. He's fixed his cousin's mistake. 12 to 12.
A lot of softened up players for Hunter to deal with. Spray to the body is the best way to deal with them. For a second, I thought Jame was going to do something special with the AK in another one of these rounds. He's taking shots there, but he readjusts really well. This was the spray from Hunter that was oh so successful. All tied up between these two. VP took a save in that last one, though, so that they could get this back.
Well, Buster gets through the smoke. It's going to be next up. Throwing the Itchy on down, and it does significantly damage Buster at the start of the round. You're going heavy over towards B here, VP, and not at the start they would have liked. Perfect nade placement from G2. Now there's going to be the reply from VP's utility.
Nex is alone. He's completely alone on this B site, and he doesn't even have much utility to really slow this down.
And his teammates won't be able to get over here quickly, but it's the play up ramp that has been spotted out by Amanek. And Yekindar has been killed, so what is the response from VP? Do they go quickly into the B site? Nexus changed up his position slightly. They have got the advantage, so they can just play this retake if they wanted. No utility to delay, and now they've made the right call. They're going to bring everybody over here, and this just gets so difficult for VP.
Maybe they're just expecting the slow style, Dinko. Like, they can rotate back in time, and they're here ahead of the game.
Yeah, they're so ready for it. It's predictable. Buster comes in with a kill still. Nexa goes down, but it's still a 4v4. Hunter's trying to get up on top of Nico and go for the boost over the top. It's one in from Hunter. Sanji trades it out. Itchy might just be perfect here, and it's denied the plant. Dunk from Nico, and now Buster and Kicker trying to win out the 2v3. 25 seconds to do it. Buster alongside Kicker have been pretty good so far. And this is a big round that they need to win. And Kicker, he's been their hero. Can he win the round? A 1v3 for him. He's picked up 2, but Jax hits the headshot. It's G2 into the lead.
We've had some huge impact kills from Jax in this game. That round with the Deagles, he came through with the headshots. This time with the AK, the first bullet accuracy on point yet again. This was the tower of Kovacs that had to collapse to begin with. Hunter was up on Nico's head, but the nade to the site was oh so helpful. And then Kicker tried so hard with that first and second kill, but Jax so fast on the trigger, and G2 are into the lead, Dinko. They've worked hard, and they've got back on track.
It has been that T side again from Virtus.pro. A strong half, 10-5, and now it's 13-12 for G2. The questions continue to be asked, and no answers from Virtus.pro.
I'm sure VP will be feeling that too. They'll be aware of their T-sided issues throughout this tournament. It's something that might start to play into the back of their minds here.
Yeah, I mean, they had Yukindar on the Lurk solo over on the other side of the map in the last round, right? And they had Buster trying to open things up. Seems a little strange right now for Virtus.pro, but a minute left on this clock. And they're going in towards A. They've got a good bit of control right now, and G2 have kind of let them have this. And now Jax finally going out for the peak, and he's won the duel against Kicker.
Jax is hot right now with some of these kills he's getting. That's up against Kicker. That's up against VP's top fragger. He made it look easy. VP starting to see if they can make a play here with 35 seconds remaining. They've got to make up their minds. They do have a couple of smokes, but still not grouping up fully, Dinko. There's only 28 seconds left.
And Buster's walking into the B site. There's a player currently at quad, and that is Nexa. So often, so patient. And oh, it's the no-scope. Amanek lands it onto Sanji, but gets a little too aggressive and goes down. It's now Yukindar and Jim looking to get into the A site, but Nico's peeked out from elevator, denies the plant as well. And with 10 seconds left, Buster on the other side of the map. It's a locked-in round for G2. It's a headshot onto Nexa, but it's all inconsequential as we find ourselves a 14th round for G2. They're now 2 away from locking in Vertigo.
And even though Amanek goes down, that information he gets so late in the round is all he needed. That's all he needed to get, because as soon as you spot those two players, you know that bomb has to commit to A, and you know that Nico cannot decide to rotate. He can start to stick around. He doesn't need to go back to B, where Buster's putting on the pressure, because they know the bomb's on A. They can deny it with the spray through the smoke. VP struggling here, and maybe it's time to up the pace.
Well, this is a much faster round out of VP, but Nico is still ready for it. He got slightly connected with that flash. And what has Nico been on in these last couple of rounds? He's up to 25 kills. That feels like it's come out of nowhere. And Nico has been delivering impact, and another one for Nico. He loves these sandbags. They're so strong. It's just really difficult to hit the headshots or even the tags to the body, right? When you're just in and around the geometry of that sandbag. And Nico hasn't really been the only player stepping up lately. You've pointed it out. It's been Jax as well over towards A. He may be negative in terms of his kill death ratio, but he has been fantastic at finding impact.
Wants even more impact in this round. Sneaking up close on ramp, getting that early information. He can be the beacon for his teammates. If he spots anyone, they can start to rotate over to A. If he calls that it's clear, can start to stack elsewhere. 40 seconds remaining for Virtus.pro. Still looking for a way in, but G2 haven't been giving away these fights in the rounds. They've just been sitting back, playing it patiently. It's worked well for them so far. Again, the time is ticking and they stay spread.
Oh, Nico, 27 kills now, a 3K in this round, and Nexa, he has a chance again on the B plate, but Hunter might just snatch away the kills before he even gets a chance. There's Yukindar down, now Sanji right into the waiting arms, and Nico snatches it away for the 4K. Map point for G2 here on Vertigo. Their T-side was looking rough themselves, but this CT side has been so strong. And also, of course, some weaknesses from the T-side of VP that has allowed this comeback.
That was a good, important spray from Nico to adjust to the boosted player. We're almost just counting with Nico in this round. He's counted up to 4 in that one, Dinko, with the quad kill. And now it's up to VP to show us that their T-side is not going to be as big of an issue as we've been calling it out to be. They've only taken 2 T rounds so far in this half. That's got to change, and it's got to change now. Otherwise, G2 will be winning this map.
Virtus.pro mid sound towards the bottom of the ramp, and once again it is Jax who is close by. He has been the bane of their existence in this position. Amanek trying to get some info. Yukindar's got up. Amanek has to be ready for this. Yukindar is so close. And Jax, well, they haven't found him. Now they have. They might not like that he's here, though. He's found a double, a 3K, nearly 4 for Jax. But it is all done here as Hunter's in behind. Buster's not ready for this. That's the bomb down. And now it's just Yukindar left alone, spotted by Hunter. And now Yukindar needs the clutch. The 1v4 in total. Under a minute left for Yukindar. And so many players he's got to find here. And it's just not looking all that doable. Although he's a fantastic player, G2 realized they want to close it out here. They do not want to let a round slip here. Nico will eventually start walking into the waiting arms of Yakindar, who has just looked away, and now Nico can close it. 29 kills for Nico, a big performance from G2. T-side wars continue for VP on their map pick. It's coming up next, so we'll see if they can get it done. We'll be back at the desk after this.